All right, here, BoredGamer coming out with just fresh, hot off the presses 8 hours ago. Star Citizen Alpha 3.24, we're going to talk about again. Features fundamentally change the game. Let's listen.
Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Let's delve deeper into Alpha 3.24, the new cargo patch. We've got some updates for the Evocati build, confirmation of features, and some patch notes to delve into as well. It is an awesome patch with some much needed features that we've been waiting for ages. CIG said they are sifting through a large amount of data gathered over the last couple of days with the Evocati test of 3.24, and they should be releasing a noticeably better build for later today because the previous build was very unstable. In the latest roadmap update, CIG basically confirmed the contents of the 3.24 patch, saying that storage access, previously known as item banks, freight elevators, cargo hauling, personal hangars, and the blockade runner dynamic event are all in and confirmed. So what's actually in the Evocati build? And obviously there are a load more features beyond what they confirmed on the roadmap, lots of little minor things and things like actual items to buy for your hangar. But let's delve into some more information and those patch notes. 3.24 fundamentally changes.
That's crazy sick. Really? DG6 says, I have zero interest in personal hangars to be... yeah, okay,
how
dude.
players interact and organize their belongings,
dude, really?
From cargo to...
Don't you want a place to like be like Scrooge McDuck and dive into your gold, man? I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe, yeah. You don't want to decorate. I mean, it's more than just decorations, bro. It's like your entire net worth. I wouldn't talk about just decorations. It's like Scrooge McDuck in it, man. Like if you're thinking this is all about the home shopping channel or like the designer channel, I think it's a little bit more than that, dude. Like it's like your entire net worth as a citizen in one spot, you know, like you can completely continue hoard it like a dragon or like a Scottish duck.
Items to ships, freight elevators will introduce a new mechanic for retrieving and storing larger items at various locations. Hangars will now be instanced and, in the case of personal hangars, persist everything within them. Ships are now spawned via the ship elevator, and item banks now replace the omnipresent local inventory. To connect these updates with other existing content, we're also introducing hover trolleys and hangar decorations. Personal and instanced hangars. These create an instance of the player's hangar to allow for uninterrupted management of cargo, inventory, and vehicles. Personal hangars are found at the player's home location and allow for customization and organization of the hangar interior. All hangar types are instanced, meaning that they are able to be physically stacked on each other in the same location without interference. All hangar types have ASOP terminals, item banks, and freight elevators. SCU amounts will depend on the hangar size, though. All hangar types have ship elevator platforms.
Okay, SCU. Okay, let's rewind that 1 second here.
Will depend on the hangar size, though.
Hangar size. SU depends upon hangar size.
All hangar types have ship elevator platforms, which will lower when the players request a ship to be spawned. Any ships already on the platform will be lowered and then stored via the ASOP. All hangar types should be accessible to party members of the hangar owner. Players can only retrieve ships while inside a hangar that fit the size of the hangar. So those SCU sizes for those elevators, they range from 120 all the way up to 1,120 for small hangars to extra large hangars. Personal hangars exist for the players at the selected home location at all times and is as big as the largest ship on the player's account. Ship purchased in-game don't increase the size of the personal hangar. And I also
okay, that's really good information right there.
I believe that it's the flyable ships that are important. It's not the largest ship on your account, really, it's the largest flyable ship on your account. Any items left inside the hangar will persist indefinitely, though items on the ship loading platform may disappear because assume that it's being cleaned or something. At freight elevators, players need to physically load and unload cargo to and from their ships by conveying cargo to and from hangars, landing pads, garages, and docking collars.
It's kind of obvious
For the
they would
new
do that,
cargo
though,
flow, we'll be storing cargo in the local player inventory and allow them to use the freight elevator in the hangar to access the inventory physically. This will be extended to cover the location inventory access that is currently handled by personal inventory. This means that anything stored to or retrieved from local inventory and location must be accessed by the freight elevator. Furthermore, we will remove the invisible player inventories for vehicles in favor of using physicalized inventory inside the ship. All ships have at least some small personal inventory that the player can put personal items on for ease of access. Additionally, we will be adding physical inventory containers available for purchase that players can use to store and haul large items in the cargo hold. The freight elevator kiosk will have added functionality for inventory management, including sub-inventories like these boxes, so players can move things around and recall it for manual transfer on and off their ships. Players can find freight elevators in personal and staging hangars, as well as outposts and scrapyards. Players can interact with a freight elevator.
Aether brings this up, and I understand that people are going to get upset about this because I figure this is something that people would just naturally get upset about. And Aether says, I don't believe that can stay past a couple of patches. It's crazy that if I buy Polaris tomorrow that I won't get a bigger hangar. I really think being stuck at a certain hangar size is only temporary. I do as well. I understand that people are upset about it, but I think it's kind of just like a temporary thing. We got to realize this is like the first implementation of it. We all know we know it, especially Salty Mike knows it. Being involved with Star Citizen, a little bit, not as long as I have, but like he's been involved with it a long time. Actually, I think he has been involved with it as long as I have. I think he's just became a content creator a year or two after I started being, I don't know. I started covering this in 2014? Maybe, yeah, somewhere thereabouts. And I think he started covering this maybe a little bit later, but I think he's been around since the very inception of this as well as myself. So, I get it. I get it that people are like, but like, we all know how this goes. Like, this is brand new. This is the way it comes out. And then on another patch, it gets updated to appease the angry people,
Kiosk to load items onto the elevator platform. Players can put items on a freight elevator platform and then interact with the kiosk to store the items to their warehouse. Players can see information about mission relevant items when storing and retrieving them via the kiosk. This is really useful because you can see if you've got a critical item that you need to take out of storage, or where's this item gone? I thought I had it on me. This all goes hand in hand with some commodity kiosk updates as well. Players can buy different SCU size containers via the commodity kiosk. Upon purchase of commodities, players can choose to automatically load them onto a stored ship at a cost of Alpha UEC for the automatic loading service. This will take an amount of time during which the ship will be inaccessible during that loading process. Information on the loading progress is available on the ASOP terminal, but also when you're actually purchasing those commodity goods, you choose what size container they go in. And smaller containers will take longer to load effectively. Lots of smaller ones, longer than a single big one. Storage access kiosks exist in various places in all landing zones and space stations. These kiosks replace the old local inventory. Using these kiosks, player can store and retrieve FPS items via the storage access UI. You want to buy a hover trolley? You can at a cargo deck now and Dumpers Depot. These can be retrieved and stored via freight elevators, and these new hover trolleys can navigate much rougher terrain than wheeled trolleys, and they're going to be used in multiple other areas as well, but they should potentially help some players load cargo, although I'd say just use tracked beam or a mixture of these and tracked beams. The tracked beams are your friend. Alpha 3.24 brings decorations into players' hands. These new decorations can be purchased at Kelto and Dumpers Depot, then retrieved from the hangar's freight.
A lot of people will die using those. Like, I know this is going to happen. Be careful. Beware the trolley. Beware the trolley. Very, very sure there will be a lot of deaths associated with the trolley. Just saying. What's up, Red? Welcome to the fam.
Decorations can be purchased at Kelto and Dumpers Depot, then retrieved from the hangar's freight elevator. These decorations can be placed anywhere a player wants in the hangar and have full interactions like sitting on chairs and couches. Caveat that the ship platform.
These trolleys will also destroy your ship, so...
will delete items stored on the ship elevator while storing ships. Hangar decoration will persist in personal hangars, but will get deleted in staging hangars, hangars that you don't own outside of your main landing zone. Staging hangars basically just being the name for the old hangars, and personal hangars being the name for the single hangar that you will have at your home spawn location, which you can travel to via the spaceport and spawn ships directly into via the kiosks there. It's really cool. I really like personal hangars. I really like all these hangar decorations and things. There's some other updates in the patch notes as well. They made further flight controller tuning changes to most ships for afterburner and SCM speeds. They've increased the RSI Mantis engine attachment health and reduced its emissions. They've greatly increased the health on all ship gimbal sizes, and they've added ESP dampening strength modifiers to the game settings tab. And the Mobiglass contract app has seen a little bit of polish to the UI. That patch, really, really great on paper. Was unstable when playing it in Evocati. Looking forward to the new build that's coming out later today at time of recording, and I suspect there'll be some extra bits in there. It wasn't covering everything this patch yet. That it's not the full patch. They are still waiting to get the cargo hauling missions, big commodity rebalance for the cargo stuff, and the blockade runner mission in there. I say mission, it's a dynamic event where players defend shipments of Quantanium from Ninetales piracy, and they have to basically get it from some space stations to another set of space stations. The Evocati phase is actually expected to go pretty quickly this time around, and they're trying to get like a Wave 1 PTU potentially in our hands next week if we're lucky. I did see a couple of little questions on Spectrum. There was a thread saying maintenance gameplay loop or actually fix the box missions, your choice CIG. The original poster said, I could be a hero if we had this, or hear me out, we could get the kiosk to work correctly. Please, I just want to move boxes and instead end up being part of some cult making monuments to the chaos god of shipping. So someone then followed up by saying, is there any hope that the upcoming cargo missions will also have code that makes these box missions more robust? Chad McKinney from CIG responded, the entire delivery mission system was rewritten for 3.24, both to support the hauling missions for the cargo patch, but also to be better set up for server meshing. So hopefully that means better box missions as well, maybe. And we do know that they're updating a load of cargo and commodity stuff as well. So hopefully that will all be cool. There was another post. Please, for the love of Chris Roberts, we are begging you. The thread goes on to basically say, we want the ability to carry your weapon lowered and then have a keybind for that. So instead of like always ready, I'm very, very angry with my gun, I'm pointing at you, just chill out with it. And spoilers for 3.24, there is now a keybind for that you can toggle your weapon ready or lowered. It's more of a visual sort of update, and I'm showing the intention of your character, but this will actually make people's immersion a lot better, videos and screenshots a load better, and potentially save you from shooting each other because you've both loaded your weapons and you go, oh, actually, this guy doesn't want to fight. A couple of little other ones. Did you have a...
Yeah, still very disjointed economy with no real demand, still fetch quest A to B, and still... on those delivery box missions, man, they're still having issues just on those. So, at the very base level of the fetch quest A to B cargo missions, man, they should at least make sure that there's a little bit more stability than normal. And I think it sounds like for people that are into that may be something that we have more stability on, which really, if you ask me, that's the very foundation of it. That should be the most stable aspect of mission running that there is, man. If you can't have stable mission running on a fetch quest that is an A to B fetch quest or multiple, like some missions you grab multiple boxes and take them multiple locations, but if you can't have like a stable experience with simple fetch quest A to B, even in an alpha, dude, you got to that's where you got to start. like start there and make it more stable, then build your way up. Because if you can't do it at the very root, at the very base, something's very wrong,
Chance to check the Santokuai propulsion in landing mode was a thread I saw, and CIG responded, actually was just informed this is fixed in 3.24. And lastly, there was a Vulkan improvements and RTGI, which I assume is ray traced global illumination, and the thread then goes on to ask what is the current status of ray tracing and global illumination, as this will be a major graphical upgrade. Ben Parry responded, RTGI is going well, visually improved, and recently we've been ironing out a lot of gotchas that would stop us from turning it on. We're also working on getting the performance up to a usable level and removing some things that are blocking us from turning up the range that it applies. It's still a fair way to go, but I hope we've got something for updated visuals for you soon. Boom! That's it for your updates for Alpha 3.24 today. That cargo patch, genuinely the core of a load of features that I wanted in 3.23 and that we were expecting, and obviously it's become its own patch, but I am so glad it's coming out now. It is going to really change the way that the economy and cargo all operates, hopefully giving players a lot more hands-on potential with their cargo and a general sort of item and inventory management. But also I do think that people being able to customize the hangars is going to have them operating these as like mini bases in the short and mid term until we actually have bases. But I'm really interested to know what you think. Have you been playing in that?
Yeah, here's the thing with any the UI is still very sloppy. It feels like it's ghosting. Like anytime you're looking at your Moby Glass, you want to go into your asset manager to see where things at. Everything's kind of sloppy joppy all over the place. It needs to be more fixed. I need to feel like it's almost on a fucking spreadsheet when I'm going through assets. I know this is my opinion, but this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I like the updates. I like where they're going with it, but like, it needs to be more solid. It needs to be more fixed. Missions at its base level need to be more stable. Dynamic events need to happen by actually going out and creating like spawned generative missions through long probe scanning, you know, and get people into places, missions farther away from traffic so there's less traffic and congestion and latency issues. There's a lot of things that could be fixed like right now. I feel like we watched Inside Star Citizen Review. We saw them talk to the level design team. We've been talking about level design for the past 2 weeks. It was nice to see the level design team. It's nice to hear their thoughts and opinions. You know who I want to see now? And I had a lot to say about level design, and you can watch that. You know, like you might be watching this highlight on YouTube. Go to the channel. You'll get to see what my thoughts and opinions on level design from the Inside Star System review was tonight, which is Thursday. If you're watching this, who knows? You know, it might be on a Friday or Saturday when this goes out, but go on the channel and watch it. But you know what I really want to see? Which team I really want to see? The economic team. Where are you, Tony? Let's talk the economy and let's have serious talks about the economy. Star Citizen in the alpha state is hurting the most because the people that are the most hardcore players are the industrialists. They are the backbone of any MMO. You need to bring these people in and you need to sit them down. Hopefully bringing this feature in the 324 is going to help keep asses in seats because you'll have one home base where you can accrue your value, where you can accrue your net worth. And that's important. That is important. That's a good step forward. I'm very happy that we're seeing this. And I think it will have a positive effect. I think that is a step in the right direction. But let's talk more about the economy. Okay, let's have a big, nice talk about the economy.
Eva Carty build, what did you think? Are you excited for that Alpha 3.24 patch, or are you waiting for 4.0? When do you actually think we're going to see 3.24 live? Do you think we'll see it before the end of July? Whatever your thoughts and questions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Something else I'd love for you to do is to go check out the links below. Stuff like Nord.
All right. We're not going to stick around for the show, but thanks so much, BoredGamer, on that update. Very, very enlightening. We learned quite a bit there. So I like that. That's why I like BoredGamer. It's just like boom, 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 news. Dig it.